Привет, друзья! Welcome back to our Be Fluent in Russian course. In fact, this greeting that I've just used, Привет, друзья, means hello, friends. You knew привет, now you've learned друзья as well. This lesson will dedicate to another conversational topic of more small talk, how to ask how are you and things like that. We have learned, so far, these things. Basic greetings, basic vocabulary, how to introduce yourself, etc. You now know how to use all of those things and how to speak Russian on a basic level. Very basic. Lesson 3 will add some more topics to this list. The question that you will hear a whole lot is как дела? How are you? Как дела in essence means how are things. So it's not talking about you personally, but it's mostly about things around you, things that are going for you, your job, maybe your school, whatever it is. So как дела, it's more about things. And you can ask this question to anybody as well. This is not a formal or informal. It's more like for any setting whatsoever. And you can answer this question with whatever you want. You can describe your things, how things are going in more detail. You can do whatever. But 4 main words that are used by natives to answer this как дела. You can say хорошо, which means good. Хорошо. You can say плохо, which means bad. Плохо. You can say нормально. Нормально means okay, normal, nothing out of the ordinary. Нормально. And отлично means great. Отлично. These answers, as you can imagine, they're not just the answers to the question of how are you. Anybody can ask you, how is the movie? Хорошо. How is your family? Отлично. So it's an answer to almost any question of how. How is this? How is that? Etc. And of course, how are things also falls under this category. Now, having these 4 here in front of us is perfect for us to learn one pronunciation trick. In Russian, what you have seen before, and we've talked about this briefly, is or, and there's a whole bunch of or here on the screen. If it's not stressed, it will sound as a. Let's put the stress marks on all of these words. So you see the o's that are not stressed, they will sound as a. For example, хорошо. The very last o is stressed, that's why the last o is pronounced as o. Хорошо. But the first 2 o's are unstressed, and I say them as хорошо. I did not say хорошо. Хорошо. This will simplify our pronunciation a little bit. It's much easier to say a versus o just when it comes to the mouth position. But one difficult thing about this rule is that there's no patterns of stress. You can never predict whether a syllable is going to be stressed or unstressed. This will be just from experience, from exposure, and whenever you learn a new word, I urge all of you to also learn the pronunciation of it. For this exact reason, that if you don't know the stress, you may mispronounce the word completely. Compare хорошо to хороша. A completely different word by pronunciation, but I just simply changed the stress of it. So back to the words themselves. These 4 words are great. You can use them for any conversation where they can fit. But if they ask you как дела, you respond хорошо. How do you ask the same question back? You say а у тебя. And you. А у тебя. We've had a number of different NUs with different а ты, а тебе, and now we add а у тебя. I urge all of you as well to learn this as a phrase and not think of it as individual words. А у тебя is a question to ask back when somebody asks you how are things. And they're going to respond with отлично. So now you can have this conversation as well. Before we move on, I want to mention one thing. You have to supplement your learning of this course with your own vocabulary training. I urge all of you guys beginners to start with A1 level words. Those are the most basic words in the Russian language. They cover like 80% of the Russian dialogue, just 800 words. Start learning them right now because in this course, we won't teach you all of 800 words, okay? We'll teach the main concepts, the main conversations, but it's going to be on you to learn that vocabulary on your own. Of course, we have already thought about that with Be Fluent. Right here on your screen, you see we have 50 words per week of A1 series. You can just add the set to your vocabulary, practice it, and it will ensure that you retain this vocabulary for a long, long time. We have a system already built in. However, if you want to go by yourself and do it on your own, you can check out these series right here on YouTube, where we break down the same A1 level words, of course, for free on YouTube, but you will have to build your own system of how you learn those words. While with Be Fluent, we have already done that for you. All you have to do is click Start Training, and you're good to go. So check out Be Fluent with the first link in the description for a free trial, or the playlist is with this information card. You can check it out there. Let's move on. But what if you wanted to answer the question of how are you with things like "Я устал," I'm tired. We will learn 3 phrases, including this one today, but one note here. The gender of people matters in Russian. If you are a lady, you will have a different form than this. If you are a guy, you use this right here. Why is that? Russian as a language counts the gender of people when we make the forms, when we make the endings. But not only does it count the gender of people, which is easily biologically, male, female, whatever, we also have gender of all objects that you see around you. For example, this shirt will have a gender, this microphone has a gender, this camera, these curtains, this video has a gender. Every single noun in Russian has a gender. We won't learn the way to tell a gender of an object yet. We'll do that later. For now, we need to simply introduce this concept. Gender will affect Russian sentences a whole lot. And we have 4 genders: masculine, feminine, neuter, and plural. Masculine and feminine is simple, male, female, right? What is neuter? Neuter is going to be used for things that cannot have gender, genderless things, but also specific nouns will have a designated neuter gender. Plural is not really a gender, it's simply when there's multiple things, but a plural form will affect the words in the Russian language in the same exact way as all other genders that you see on your screen. So, for today, we'll only worry about 3 genders: masculine, feminine, and plural, because that's the only 3 genders that involve people. So, our 3 phrases that you can use to describe how things are: Я устал, Я рад, and Я голодный. Я устал means I'm tired, Я рад means I'm glad or I'm happy, Я голодный means I'm hungry. All of these 3 forms are masculine. So if you're a guy, you can use them. And all of these words, устал, рад, голодный, they will be different types of words in Russian. My goal for you guys to leave this lesson just knowing how gender affects words. You may not know all the forms, you may not understand exactly why that's happening, but you'll be aware. So, all of these are in masculine form. If you're a guy, use these forms. If you're a lady, you use Я устала, Я рада, Я голодная. So for these 2 words, we added the letter A at the end, and this changed from I to aya as an ending. That's one of the main characteristics of a feminine word is this letter A at the end, or both A and Ya. Think of A, more free. A sounds more feminine. And finally, the plural forms. Мы устали, мы рады, мы голодные. So, устали has I, рады has I, and голодные has I as an ending. Once again, you do not have to memorize this concept yet. You will encounter all of these words being changed in different ways later in this course. But for now, just know that the concept of gender affects the Russian words a whole lot, just like you saw on the screen. It will affect all the endings of of most common Russian words. Okay? So, now you know the concept of gender, and also you know a few more phrases of how to describe how you feel. Okay, done with the theory for lesson 3. Let's talk about a long-term advice from me to you. I've already mentioned this earlier, the fact that you have to learn vocabulary. See, the language is vocabulary. If you know 100 words of a certain topic, you kind of unlock that topic for yourself. If you don't know those words, then you cannot talk about that topic yet. So language, your communication will only improve if you learn vocabulary. And I urge all of you to create a habit, to create a system where you can practice those words and memorize those words for a long time. Just reading lists of words will not do it. You have to challenge your memory. You have to challenge your recall of those words. And the earlier you build that system and the earlier you start the habit of just going through the vocabulary like 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, the sooner you will see great progress. If you need help with that, we got you covered. With Be Fluent, with this button right here, check it out, see if you like it, see if you enjoy it for 3 days for free, or keep on watching our YouTube videos with this next one. It's up to you.